complain if you don't
When
vote.
at noon, it was walked in, walked out. It was great.
As you look and evaluate the last, say, game and a half, you started out so strong running the ball this year, and then kind of game and a half has been a little hit or miss.
Yeah, we've certainly lost the edge a little bit there up front. I think some of it has to do with the game planning that the others have done against us. And, Arkansas had a good scheme in the second half. We ran it real effective against them in the first half, but they did some things the second half, gave us problems. And Georgia was a whole different animal, looking back at the film, I'd call the same runs again, but, they beat us. And, I'm anxious to see how our O-line bounce back this week. They're a very talented team, but even more impressive than their talent is how hard they play. So, our O-line's got their hands full, and we're banged up a little bit up there, so it's going to be a great challenge for us, but I assure you no one has a greater desire to prepare to run the football than Matt Luke and myself this week, and we're certainly trying to get us a great plan to do that.
Statistically, Vanderbilt is pretty high up there in a lot of categories defensively. What makes them so good? What have you seen with them?
They totally understand who they are and what they need to do, and don't make many mistakes at all.
What do they do?
Well, they're a zone fire team from the field, and they're going to bring their inside pressure and they disguise it as well as anybody you've seen, and then they bring boundary pressure too. I mean, it's the same stuff, but every game they have a different plan, and you got to figure out what that is. But all of those pressures are not something very new. It's something we've seen, but their kids play every play extremely hard, and effort's a big deal with them, as you can tell. And they're getting a lot out of their kids, and that carries you a long way on defense a lot of times. They've been very good in the red zone also.
There was a lot of talk in Nashville yesterday about your call to James Franklin. Is that something you do routinely?
I've done it before. I wouldn't say I do it every week. Kind of depends on, I guess, how well I really know a guy. But, it's one thing, of course, I talked with several coaches this year already, particularly when they're coming to our place, just to extend to them the courtesy of, hey, if you need anything from us, let us know. But Coach Franklin and I, got to know each other a little bit, and really I was impressed with his team and wanted to tell him if he needed anything his trip down, just to let me know. And he had called me earlier when Bo's sister, and it was just something I thought should do. I called a couple other coaches this year also when they were coming to our place, not on the road games. Kevin Sumlin, he's a friend of mine. I called him on Monday morning just like that. But it's kind of something I like to do.
You were hopeful yesterday, Hugh, that most of your guys would be ready to play this week. After today's work, has that changed any? Do you know any more about that?
I'm not hopeful. Aaron will not be able to go. Wesley Pendleton, don't know. Sinquez will be practicing tomorrow, it looks like, so that's a good thing. CJ and Aaron Morris and Trey Elston, hopeful, but they weren't able to do a lot today.
What's going on with those last three, CJ and Trey?
Trey has a turf toe, CJ has a foot, Aaron has a shoulder. Keith Lewis, shoulder. Same boat as those others.
Hopeful.
Hopeful. Yeah, he's been probably a little behind the others.
How does that affect your preparation, not just those guys being out?
It's difficult because some of those guys are high rep guys, and it's hard. We're just going next man up, and we're going to play with who's ready to go, and hopefully they can get some reps before the week's up.
Realistically, how much practice can guys miss and still be effective?
Kind of depends on their position, I think. Sinquez, missing out there, shouldn't. I mean, it's good to get reps, but it's not like he's working a lot of run fits on different schemes, And I think he'll practice tomorrow. So, whereas Keith, that's a whole different animal there, working on all the different fits with the different schemes we have, blitzes and things. So. Aaron Morris is a high rep guy. He needs reps, so hopefully he'll be able to get some tomorrow.
CJ being out, give Channing a little bit more opportunity to get more
I know
reps.
they're getting him a lot of work. Yep. But I'm optimistic. CJ's going to try to go. He'll go.
How's Channing's progress been?
It's been good. I wouldn't say it's superb, but it's been good. But you know, it's he coming in 2.5 weeks late. I don't know if he's played kind of catch up the whole year, but no, he plays hard now, and you love him as a kid, and glad we have him. He's going to be special.